What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Madden 19. The beta has ended. If not, by the time this video goes up, it'll be ending very shortly. And I wanted to just come out and say I'm showing this image from Madden 18 because I did see some images like this in my beta testing. I have provided a lot of feedback. I did a lot of focus on CFM with Madden 19, and I just want to say that there were some things that really surprised me, and then there were some things that really irritated me. And I'm interested, perhaps more than anything else, to see the community's feedback. Will they accept the things that do happen, the positive changes, or will they be more angry about the legacy issues if they're not taken out of the game? And that's the great thing. A lot of the feedback I provided should help those legacy issues come out of the game. You know, I did maybe 5 or 6 complete franchises in totally different directions, from rebuilds to teardowns to building up to tearing back down. I had a really good grasp at the end, not only with how you could manipulate the game in certain ways, but how other teams structure themselves. And I think that's one of the things that I really paid the most attention to, is what are other teams doing? How is it right, or how is it wrong, or how can it be adjusted? And not only that, but the way the game creates scenarios that make it hard to actually go through and build the team the way you want to, or create the team that you want. And I think a lot of the things that I saw initially were things that have carried over from Madden in the past, and I think that's where we kind of talk about, you know, where is someone's frustration, irritation going to be? You know, how much new can be put into something and have people still get irritated by what's still there from the past games? And I think in a nutshell, that almost sums up where Madden is. No matter what they put in, until we get some things corrected, it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be better. It's not going to present a whole new challenge. No matter how many times you try to reinvent it or try to facelift it, you're not changing the core problem. And the core problem is what's really ruining the gameplay, ruining the experience. And that's why I think this year, more than any, when you take a look at the changes that have been made, you know, how is the community going to respond to them, and how quickly is that kind of love for Madden, the honeymoon that people talk about, if you will, how long is that going to last? Because I've spoke to other people in the beta. Obviously we have forums, we have internal ways of communicating, and it seems like those people lost that love very quickly. Now, true, we're not playing the final product, and I certainly hope that all of our feedback will go into making a better game, and that's what it was designed for, truthfully. And they wanted to get this information to them. They wanted to have time to patch and adjust and modify things. But we also only know that there's only so much that we can do, and I'll be honest, there was people in the forums that were entirely frustrated with the state of the game, and there were people in the forums that were entirely in love with the state of the game. Talked about this in another video. It's easy to understand how changes are difficult to come by when you look at such a wild swing of how people feel about certain things. What's right and what's wrong isn't always black and white. We always don't agree on everything, and it was no more evident than in that forum that certain people felt that things were fantastic the way they were, and there's other people that were willing to sit there and say, listen, this needs to be adjusted, here's why. And the response was, but one time in 1947 this happened, 2 times in 1974 this happened. And it's understandable that EA would struggle with how to adapt to that information. You can't have a majority win scenario. Clearly they might side with the other side of the fence because that's what's in the game currently. And if they feel like that's right, well, you really can't justify it's wrong if it has happened before. But I think we need to look at some common ground, some statistics, and try to build off that. Give me the anomalies later. Give me the standard now. So with that said, if you did participate in the beta, I would hope that you'd take some time to sit down and put something together, put your thoughts, put your words, compose something. Get it to a developer, or get it to me even if you want, and I'll make sure it goes to a developer, and let's try to make sure we spent that time as best as possible in terms of the community going forward to get the best game that they can out of Madden 19. Love to know your thoughts on this. Appreciate you checking it out. I will be back in the week with more commentary.